the husband's side of the family. So please, I really would like her, if you're inviting her again, she needs to show stats to back up what she said, or not say it again, really, because I really have an issue like that. And then I think the idea of I totally agree with those who need to do DNA. Please go ahead and do DNA if that's what you need. But I agree with her that it should be a discussion with the couple. But here's the thing, though: the moment you say to your wife or your girlfriend, "I want a DNA test," you're effectively saying, "I don't trust you." So how does the relationship survive that? I don't know. But here's the other thing. That's the one thing she forgot to mention, I think. Perhaps it was because of time.
She'll be back next week.
I have a friend who that happened to, and the minute he asked for DNA, relationship was over. They broke up, and he went and did DNA after they broke up, and the child was his because she knew. But she said, if you didn't trust me, if you didn't trust that I was giving you your child, then forget it. I don't want to be with you. She's since gotten married and is happily married to another man. But it's about trust, isn't it? It's effectively. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a balancing act. It's about how you approach it. It's about wisdom. It's about being sensitive. It's about coming from a place of care and responsibility when you approach such a thing. All right? But that's not what I want to talk about. But I did have to give my comments on that, just to let you know that I do listen to Zainab's show, and I do enjoy it, like the rest of you. So, what are we talking about today? Let me tell you, I was in that country. I was in Istanbul. Oh my God, was I cold? It was -degrees. It was cold. I tell you one thing, though. Since I moved out of England, I think I've been back, because I like winter, right? I like winter. I don't have a problem with winter. But here I am. You all know my age. I'm 55 this year. Forget it. Don't even tell me. So, since, I've reached a particular age, and obviously your bones and everything, and you all know that I suffer from arthritis, partly born with, partly because I used to dance a heck of a lot, go up in the air, jump on my knees, yada, 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 and all of that good stuff. So I'm not crying, I'm not complaining, but here's the thing though. Oh my word, I forgot. The cold weather on arthritis in a country as stunningly beautiful and sort of almost, it's historic, right? Istanbul has literally everywhere you look is history, Roman history, part of the Ottoman Empire, etc., etc. So a lot of their streets are cobbled stones, not this interlocking modern thing that we have here, like proper cobbled stones. Some of them date back centuries. Oh my gosh, they're so hard on your knees. My knees were on fire because you walk everywhere, and then you go to see all this sightseeing, and you walk up, you walk down, you walk up the hill, you walk down the hill. Oh, stunning, stunning, stunning. But my knees were on fire. But I feel better now, because what is the cure for such a thing? One of the things that works for me, and I forgot to take it along, is aboliki. And aboliki is literally, I recommend it. If you've got arthritis, what's that got to do with much? I don't know why. You're all so fond of taking medicines into your body in this country, foreign medicines. Aboliki is not harsh. Aboliki goes into the bones. Literally, it heals. And then I soak myself in water. Those are the two things that heal my arthritis, and I feel much, much better. Otherwise, I promise you, I wouldn't have been able to deal with our stairs today. So that's that. What are we talking about? We're talking about those people. You know them. We've talked about them before. Those people that give you service. Yes. The telcos, my former industry. So now, before I left, I knew that, it's been coming since last year, actually, that they wanted to raise their tariffs because, of course, everybody's going through this T-pain period. But now, 50%, they've been allowed to raise the tariffs by 50%. And the NLC and NATCOMs are condemning this, and they said it shouldn't be more than 10%. Well, I'm not one for the NLC because they bore me. they literally don't do anything but yakety yak. They go on strike, meaningless strikes that they don't achieve anything with. And then the next thing they do, they're busy agreeing with government and bowing to government and all this stuff. So I don't care about them, to be honest with you. I know labor parties in the world are supposed to be important and labor unions are important, but our NLC have continued to be a letdown. I'm putting it out there. I said what I said. So let's talk about these tariffs. We all know our network is awful. It's gotten worse. We've had this conversation before. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. Now, there's an argument to say they probably need money to invest into the infrastructure in order for the network to be better. I don't know. Because, yes, it's gotten worse, but it was never great, is the point. Was it ever great before? So here's my question to you. 0201 277 0993 0201 465 7190 08095975805 is where you will be sending a WhatsApp, but you can call those two 0201 numbers on Danfo Conversations and tell me if you had to pay extra. I'm laughing because I know how the calls are going to go. If you had to pay, if you had the choice, if you had to vote for a tariff hike, given that we all know what the country is like, what the economy is like, given that we are in T-pain economy, so and we're all business people, one way or the other, whether you're micro, medium, or large business, right? Or a small business, you know things are really, really tough. Tell me something. How much would you be willing to pay extra? What percent? Let's start it. The lowest you can go is 1%, by the way. You can't say 0% because we all know what the country is like, right? So what percentage would you go up to? The NLC are saying it should be 10%. I'm saying you're already calling. Let's talk before I tell you what I'm saying. Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Istanbul people. I'm from Lekki, Lagos.
Pardon? Say that again. What's your name?
Maro is my name.
Maro.
I'm calling from Lagos.
You're calling from Lagos.
I'm from Istanbul.
Thank you very much. Kind of you. Erdogan country. It was work. It was work partly, but I took a couple of days extra to relax. Yes, talk to me.
You know, there's one comedian that said, "My work na joke, and I take and make money."
Well, my work was a media forum, a Palestinian media forum that had over 700 people. But I had not been to Istanbul before, so I took the opportunity to have a couple of days to.
No, it's marvelous. You going to see those places.
It's stunning. It's stunning. So talk to me, tariffs.
Fantastic. Now, talking about the increase.
Yeah, the tariff increase.
My question is, why is this country like this?
What do you mean?
Well, we know they have their own generator, but most of these people have paid whatever cumbersome primary money they registered with, and now they're on profit. They are not building any new infrastructure. Most of their infrastructure has been on ground now for 20 years, 1999. So why this 50%?
Okay. Myra, let me say something. They have built infrastructure. They have, this used to be my industry. And I know that one of the things that we used to do constantly was infrastructure improvement all the time. Remember in the old days, you would see cell towers all over the place. That was part of the infrastructure improvement. Now they do what we call co-location, which is about sharing the same site. So you don't have the country littered with all those triangle looking things. You also have the sort of infrastructure, cable infrastructure, that constantly get damaged by workmen or even ordinary citizens. So there's a lot of work that goes into, just so I'm not defending them, as you know, I'm just telling you there's a lot of investment.
I agree with you.
5G for
analysis. I want to ask a question. Now I make a call and they charge me and I do not communicate.
Yeah.
Who pays for that?
Exactly.
What is the responsibility that is coming upon them after increment? Or we are still going to make 200 or 4-5 minutes call and will not benefit from it, and charges will be upon us. And there are a lot of places where they fail and make us pay already. And now they are making a 50. I think, like you requested, 5% increase will have been better.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Myro says 5%. What do you think? Let's talk. Hello. Send me the WhatsApp 080959755805.
Hello?
Hello.
Our own Amina, the queen of Igala land, if you take one of Nigeria.
How are you?
I welcome from your journey.
Thank you very much.
Yes, I was trying to reach out to you while you were there, but unfortunately it was tight.
Yes, the network was as
welcome.
usual. Thank you.
Welcome. This is Godwin from Lakwe.
Go ahead, Godwin. Good to hear you.
Thank you. Now, to collaborate what the last speaker spoke, what really is governance up to? People that are decided to say they want to rule, they want to be a leader. Is it not for the good of other people, ordinary around them? But unfortunately, our own Nigeria system, government, it is opposite. The leadership to them now a ruler, and only for their own immediate value and their family, and any other person they don't care. Well, other things, other countries, they subsidize hospital bill and whatever. Our own, the one we struggle with our sweat, they still come and tax us extensively in a wicked manner. Now, come to this telecommunication increment, 50%. Do we have conscience? Does the people who so call themselves the ruler of Nigeria, ordinary Nigerians, do they have feeling and God inside their heart?
Well, we've got to keep God out of it. The question is it capitalist greed that's actually taking over, overwhelming them? Because they asked for 100%. The government agreed to 50%. NLC and NATCOMs are saying it shouldn't be more than 10%. What do you think it should be?
The NICP and the Sisoge one. The people we are talking say they agree on 50%. They are the hidden owner of this company. And they do all those things to camouflage.
Well,
they are just doing a cover-up to exploit.
Okay.
To take our blood out of us. In the shortest time, instead not taking, we'll be asked to pay for the air we breathe in from God.
Okay. So and tell me, we're about to go to break. What percentage would you agree to?
Anything 5%, I think. Okay. That is minimal enough to
get. Thank you. Thank you very much.
God bless you. You're welcome.
God bless you too. Thank you.
Thanks.
Right, we'll be right back after this break, right? We've got to go on break.
For every minute that goes by,
something noteworthy is happening.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave his assurance after President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled the Lekki Deep Sea Port.
It is only in Nigeria here that only politicians that does not go for medical screening.
The candidate doesn't need to be as fit as an athlete. He just needs to have a basic level of health and fitness. This is me being generous to Shetima.
Get up to speed with your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Ireti Bakare-Yusuf, the host of Borderlines. First and foremost, it's been a whole year of the new show, Borderlines. We've covered several global issues, and we will continue to cover even more. Now, if you have any suggestions regarding borderlines, whether it's how you want us to be better, what you want us to change, it'll be an interesting thing to learn from you. We will be most appreciative if you could share it with us. You will have to go to any of the Borderlines posts. Borderlines on YouTube at Nigeria Info 99.3, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, on Facebook we post all the Borderline posts there, and also on Twitter, which is now called X. Just go there in the comment section, put your suggestions, and honestly, we're going to review as many of them as possible. If you like, you can hashtag Borderlines, all right? And if there's a story that you had been wanting us to cover, global events, global news, that's what we talk about. Until then, have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous new year. Bye-bye, all the best.
Did you miss out on the I Beg to Differ online auditions? This is another opportunity to make history. On Saturday, January the 25th, the I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Audition comes to life at the Nigeria Info Studio, 267A Etim Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. Yes, I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Auditions host the very first outdoor auditions at our studio right here in Victoria Island on Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. This in-person audition is for secondary school students who missed the deadline of our online entry. If you've already entered the competition online, you don't have to come for the live audition. To register, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm to pick a topic for your live auditions. Click on the I Beg to Differ banner on the homepage. Carefully read the guidelines and choose a topic. Remember the date, Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. Venue is Nigeria Info Studios, 267A Etim Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. The debate of your life begins here. I Beg to Differ. Tournament of Champions. It's 2025. The biggest conversations are happening on Hard Facts.
If the model of Rebolo was genuinely interested in local government funds, would have protested to be cancelled. Somebody is receiving 30,000 naira after serving the country for 5 years.
From the stories shaping Nigeria's future.
I've been dumping my mood for that whenever people are clapping, he's praising singers when they ought to be telling him the truth.
I mean, he did not do any remarkable thing in your day, and you are celebrating corruption time.
To real-time feedback from you, those citizens.
There is propaganda. They can never make it work. I will not support that tax reform.
If NBS is turning out very fake data to us, because this data lacks empirical evidence.
We dig deep with the decision makers, hold the powerful accountable, and keep the conversation alive on social media. Join Mary Ann Okon every Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the most interesting news and current affairs show on radio.
I'm so sorry. I hate it when people make assertions from very skewed and biased places.
Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations. I'm proud to be back. Jiggy Jaga Jiggy. We're going straight, no stopping to those telcos. What kind of taking advantage? What in the name of bad network is going on? They want more money. They asked for 100%. Government said they can have 50% increase. And NLC and Co. are saying, civil society are saying, they only deserve 10%. What do you think? Let's talk. While Zainab puts the AC on for me, I'm back in the whole country, Zainab. Right, let's talk. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Samuel, calling from, currently I'm in Igobi.
Okay, go ahead, Samuel.
First, let me say welcome back from Istanbul.
You're kind. Hello? Thank you. I can hear you.
Okay. I feel is great in this telecom increase. for God's sake. How can you want to increase? You don't even start at least with a variable minimal amount. That at least will get the people to want to reason with you. Common sense is not applied. You are skyrocketing to 100. It's too much. Everything the government wants to increase tax from 7.5 to 15%, and then NEPA has been increasing. Sorry, the PHC have been increasing. Everything is increasing, and now the telecoms increase. They don't want to even start with.
But let me come to you though. Why shouldn't they increase? We're all hold on. We all know the economy that we're in. We all know everything is a lot more expensive. A lot more. We're looking at, I think it's easily 300% more expensive. Things just keep doubling and tripling and quadrupling. Yeah. So why don't they deserve to say the cost? It's costing us more now to keep this network up.
Okay, it's fine to increase. I never asked. I never said it shouldn't increase. But all I'm saying is, please apply common sense. You want to increase, not a whooping 100. It's much.
Yeah. Well, they've been given. Government has allowed them 50%. Do you think that's too much?
I don't care about what the government says, but even the 50% is much.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
For the Labour, they should go and sit down because they've all been making empty noises. I think there's something like that.
Yeah.
So they should just go and sit down.
Yeah.
But the telecom should increase with sense. It shouldn't just be 50 or 100. Start with 10. Probably in the next 1-2 years, you can come up and say, "Oh, okay, the 10% we increased. We thought it would, help us, but it's not. Is actually not, meeting up to our expectations."
Okay, I need you to wrap up. Yeah.
Add up of maybe 5% more.
5%. Okay.
It should not be too much. People won't see it like, wow, you just want to. And besides, literally, every of their services they've been offering has been pretty much even expensive.
Okay.
Seriously.
Thank you.
And their services have not really been, good.
Certainly not. Thank you. God bless you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. This is your girl one.
Good afternoon, merchant man. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Yeah, as a businessman, it would be unfair for me to actually say they should not increase any part of whatever will make their businesses to grow. But what annoys me is the fact that they really want to exploit, plunder, and pillage the people irrespective of how the land is bleeding economically. But the truth is, as a result of the fact that these people look up to people who actually gave them the license, and this is the reason they believe they could get away with anything they are doing. Because when you look at people who actually gave you the license of your establishment, they did it in such a way that they didn't even consider the ripple effect to their citizens. Then you will not expect any other thing different from this FDI. It's annoying. And for the fact that they also look at this from the angle that nobody is there to defend the ordinary masses. If the government just took up administration and decided to make a pronouncement that put all the country and all the citizens into chaos, and any other mechanism that any other people have tried to put in place have been infiltrated, have been used to work against the same people. Just like the last caller said, he said NLC should go and sit down. They should go and sleep because, to me, they are of no use to the country. I remember the NLCs of those days that will fight over an increment of 3 naira to pump price. But we, in our generation, in our time, we see NLC, who was looking like a lame dog, watching the administration put up a whopping amount of
amount of money on one price from 200 naira to 600 or 700 naira without making any protest, without even saying a word that will effect changes. So they should go and sit down. The truth is, these people are here like one of the voiceover or voice note on Nigeria Info always says that these people have seen a wonderful business, a wonderful atmosphere to do their business, and they are not leaving so soon because they have all it takes to plunder. Just like Donald Trump has entered into the seat of government. Every other American, I'm on the of running off, ma'am. Every other American citizen has been proud to be an American. You look at a leader who is there to defend you. In fact, I can never forget this last one about the divorce law he wants to sign, because the ladies have really dealt with men in US. But here we look at people, we see people who want all of us to die almost the same day. Thank you, Jogi. God bless you. So
what percentage?
Okay, percentage, yes. 5 is okay as a businessman, because if I say they should not add up anything, it will look like I'm oblivious of the current bronze every other business is present. So 5% is okay. Anything like 50% is exploitative and demonic. In fact, any word you can use is okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you much, man. Right, let me read out your messages. What have I got here? Peter. What is it? Good afternoon, Ireti Bakare-Yusuf, aka Sergey. Welcome back from the land of Thai Erdogan. Yes, Erdogan, he was there. On the increase by telcos, 50% is on the high side. 2% for me is okay. Obonyi Peter, aka Peter Bonds from Shangotedo. Hashtag for conversations. Thank you very much. What have we got here? Good afternoon, Sergey. I have recharged my Wi-Fi 3 times this January. I recharged cable for people, which makes me staying online for over 10 hours, but now it's getting difficult for me to attend to customers who are not in Nigeria, and the networks are no more stable. I'm not quite sure. I think you should write that in long form, because I don't understand what you mean there. Good morning. Well, good afternoon, or it depends on what country. Oh, from Philadelphia. Good morning, my love. It's pure greed, and I feel so pained for Nigerians. Nothing in Nigeria is affordable anymore to the common man. Here in America, I just had a beautiful baby girl. Oh, congratulations. Girl power rules. And I paid 0% out of pocket because my girlfriend has insurance. I just feel pained for Nigerians. This is Victor from Philadelphia. Thank you and have a good day. Thank you, Victor. Congratulations on the baby. However, you and I both know that medical care in America is easily one of the most exploitative industries in the entire universe. So we're not going to complete that, but I am happy for you and your girlfriend because she had good insurance. But literally, I think it's something like 40% of Americans go into debt due to medical debt, really. Medical cost, right? But I'm happy, and congratulations on the little girl. You didn't tell us her name. Right, what have I got? Hi, Wale from Surulere. 5% is okay. Thank you, Wale. Mustafa Oriyomi. Yomi from Murio Konla is saying, good afternoon, sir. Okay, AK Radio Goddess International. Welcome from the ancient city of Istanbul. Thank you. On the telcos. For the business owner, that we can't do without their services. 10% increase is okay. I know the multiplier effect of the cost of diesel is affecting every Nigerian, but 10% is fine. The government needs public, not private opinion. Thank you. That's a good point. The government needs public, not private opinion. Right. What have I got here? Femi says, it's okay, it's Aboniki. Oh, thank you. I've always called it Aboniki, you know. It's Aboniki, that's right. And I keep getting corrected. Thank you so much. Isn't it the best? My God, between Aboniki and Rob, for me, they could probably cause, literally cure everything that goes on our bodies. Literally. Right. So, are we going on break now? Okay, we'll be right back.
Infomercial.
A child's gift can make way for him and bring him before great men. Parents, teachers, and schools, bring out your talented young singers ages 5 to 10 to test their might in this year's Children Can Sing competition. Children are the heritage of God and the future of our tomorrow. Let us give them the opportunity of a lifetime. Application for this competition is free. You can pick up your application forms at Nigeria Info FM, Kiddies FM, and Cool FM studios. The star prize winner will be walking home with 2 million naira. The first runner-up will be walking home with 1 million, and the second runner-up will be going away with 500. Excuse me there. The second runner-up will be going away with 500,000 naira. All entries for the competition will be closing on Friday, the 7th of February, 2025. Children Can Sing, producing great future singers from today.
We are in a time where people yearn for information.
Information is quick. The larger the rich, the better.
Bits,
pieces,
and the whole. All the details right here on Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
This is an infomercial.
Are you looking for the right path to study, live, or work abroad without losing your funds to unscrupulous travel agents, that is? Or are you looking for funds to finance your overseas plans? If yes is the answer, then don't miss out on this exclusive opportunity. Reserve your seat at the Premium Jackpot Seminar with Ozo Dodoba of Wazobia FM. You'll be gaining valuable insights, travel loans, learning proven strategies, getting insider tips, networking with industry leaders, and having one-on-one discussions with seasoned travel experts. And you will also get to take the next step towards achieving your traveling goals. The date is Saturday, the 25th of January 2025. The time, 12 noon prompt. Do not be late. The venue, the ITF building, the 5th floor of Funshaw Williams Avenue, Costain, Lagos. Now, the access fee is 20,000 naira and it admits one person. For seat reservations and further inquiries, please call the number 0802 383 1303. That is 0802 383 1303 or 0802 377 0699. That is 0802 377 0699. Hurry and secure your spots because seats are filling up just like that. Now, this event is powered by Strong Voice Media and proudly supported by Wazobia FM, Cool FM, and Nigeria Info. Do note that we are not in the business of giving away visas.
Let us stand in the gaps for you
and connect you to the rest of the world.
And Russia's defense minister Sergei Shoigu is shown on state television visiting troops fighting in Ukraine. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries has raised Nigeria's oil production quota.
In all we do, we remain committed to informing you.
It's 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
For every minute that goes by,
something noteworthy is happening.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu gave his assurance after President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled the Lekki Deep Sea Port.
It is only in Nigeria here that you only politicians that does not go for medical screening.
The candidate doesn't need to be as fit as an athlete. He just needs to have a basic level of health and fitness. This is me being generous to Shetima.
Get up to speed with your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations, right here on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello. Right. Welcome back. I got distracted for a second. To Danfo Conversations, we're talking telcos. They wanted 100%. The government said to them, can only have 50%. Civil society are saying 10%. In fact, NLC have the audacity, or some of you might think they're right, to suggest that we boycott. The telecommunication services. Like, sometimes I wonder what planet these people are on. How exactly are we supposed to boycott it? Do you know the technology that sits on our telco network? Does he realize that actually, I think Nigeria has at least 3 of the unicorns in this country? All of that is as a result of the telecommunications network. And you want us to boycott it to where? As how? That we should get in touch with each other like how? By sending, you used to have homing, I don't know what they call it in Nigerians. In England, they would call it homing pigeons. You put a message in their mouth. Yeah, we had it as well. I can't remember what we called it in Nigeria in the old days. Are we supposed to use drums? What exactly? Sometimes I just wish the NLC would sit back and let the people actually do what the people do best. That is speak for the people. Let's talk. You're all calling 1 minute only. Quickly. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Robert. I'm calling you from Apapa.
Go ahead, Robert. You have 1 minute. The lines are
I
alive.
think the government cannot tell the telecom to increase it by 50, or determine the percentage that they should, the margin cost should be increased. No.
Well, the government actually can. That's why they did. The telcos had to go to the government. You do know that there's something called the NCC. Yes, of course.
They know now.
Yeah,
they have to get. The telecoms in Nigeria.
Yeah, they have to get permission.
So what I'm telling you is that let's consider the marginal cost, which is the additional cost of doing their business. If you budget 50,000, that's okay. This is how much you are going to run this month to do your business. And you are spending extra 30,000 naira. And the government is telling you that no, you should not add the thing is that whatever the government do, it is with the citizens that will bear the brunt.
Ben.
That is the fact. You understand? So instead of me to blame the temple, the telecom company, let me blame the government. They make the Nigeria economy unbearable for people to do business. Many people have shut down. The ones that are able to operate, they are not getting easy for them to operate. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello. Can I just say, before you go, every single one of you, don't forget to say what percentage you would give them. Hello, let's talk. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ireti, good afternoon. This is, welcome back.
Sorry, who is it?
Kenny.
Hi, Kenny. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Okay, so I'm thinking I'd really like to say 0, but you caught me right there, so I'll go for 1%. Now, hear this, though, Ireti. There was a gentleman that was on crossfire with Kofi, I think it was earlier this week, and he elucidated on the potential revenue generation per day for these telcos using, I think he used Airtel as a case study. And he came to the neighborhood of about 700 and something million naira a day. If a customer spends only 3 minutes on the phone for one phone call a day. Ireti, I'll be generous. If we not round it up to 700 million a day instead of 700 plus, and we multiply by 30 days, we're getting 21 billion, I think.
Bill.
Or is it trillion?
Bill.
21 billion.
Yeah.
So are they saying that that is not sufficient for them? Are they saying it's not sufficient for them in 1 month?
Let me tell you what they will say, because that was my industry, right? It costs a lot, an incredible amount of money to actually keep the networks working. However bad they are, I assure you. You see this money that he's saying, this 700 million that he said, here's the thing. If I'm going to shock you now, it's not a lot.
Yes.
It's really not a lot, because a great deal of that goes into costs management. MTN was making, and I don't want to give the wrong figure before it goes viral, but some insane amount before per day before it even got to this point. So that kind of money doesn't surprise me. They also have lots of staff and all of that. They provide jobs and all of that stuff. But keeping that network up is easily the most expensive, right? Operational cost ever.
Okay. How about I give that to them? Now I go from this to this angle. They're using the Nigerian populace as a soft target. What do I mean by that? The banks are owing them. They should go collect whatever debt the banks owe them. And then on top of that also, you know, these banks, they are raking in huge profits. And these same banks are going to turn around and pass on the cost to we, the populace. Now, on top of that also, CBN, I was so annoyed with CBN when they fined the banks those huge amounts, 100 and something million per bank for not stocking the ATM. Yes, they had an infringement. What I thought CBN should have done was to instruct the banks to pay the customers the fees that they accrued as a result of inconveniences for using the POSs. You see, they're not looking at the populace at all. Now, another thing I wanted to say is that, yes, all these companies are incurring high operation expenses. How about they come together and tell the government that this exchange rate must come down, that the interest rates must come down, because it's going to be a win-win situation.
Thank you.
They're going to win, and the customers will win, and the customers will be happy.
Thank you. So what percentage would you give them? Because I have to.
Just 1%, but they can do more. 1% because you from also. Yeah, I love you.
Right. So I will come in on Skype. Okay. Is this all there? Go back. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Often.
Yeah, definitely. CCG. Why is it that every time they just push additional costs on we masses to pay more? They continue to ask us.
They want to break the camel's back.
I think I don't get it. Yoge, Omo Yoruba ni mi. The moment Timbari leader.
I need you to speak more in English.
The moment I see leaders, that the politicians are running around him and hailing him and singing, "Your mandate we shall serve," while the masses are struggling and suffering, it speaks volume for me. It speaks volume. Until I see a leader that will get there, that the whole National Assembly will not be agreeing with one another, they will not be agreeing with the government and all that. There will be fights everywhere. That's the government I know that is ready to do things that will benefit the masses. But any government that get there, and all the politicians are railing around him and shouting and hailing him, I don't think that government is for the masses.
Thank you. What percentage would you give? Okay, it's cut off. Let me read this message. And I'm going to read this in particular because it gives a perspective from the side of the telcos. And I want you all to listen very quiet, just listen carefully. That's the word I was looking for. Now, it says, I am Olodo, is the person, the friendly neighbor. Capitalist greed or not? What is Izioke mean? I don't know what that means, but the telcos have not increased their rates in over a decade. On the contrary, they're giving more data and have actually reduced calls and SMS rates over the period. Where was everyone, especially our callers, when everything went up unilaterally, be it electricity, fuel, food, school fees, house rent, transportation, etc., all by over 100%? Well, actually, you're wrong, Olodo.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Ireti Bakare-Yusuf, the host of Borderlines. First and foremost, it's been a whole year of the new show, Borderlines. We've covered several global issues, and we will continue to cover even more. Now, if you have any suggestions regarding borderlines, whether it's how you want us to be better, what you want us to change, it'll be an interesting thing to learn from you. We will be most appreciative if you could share it with us. You will have to go to any of the Borderlines posts. Borderlines on YouTube at Nigeria Info 99.3, on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos, on Facebook we post all the Borderline posts there, and also on Twitter, which is now called X. Just go there in the comment section, put your suggestions, and honestly, we're going to review as many of them as possible. If you like, you can hashtag Borderlines, all right? And if there's a story that you had been wanting us to cover, global events, global news, that's what we talk about. Until then, have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous new year. Bye-bye. All the best.
Did you miss out on the I Beg to Differ online auditions? This is another opportunity to make history. On Saturday, January the 25th, the I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Audition comes to life at the Nigeria Info Studio, 267A Etim Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. Yes, I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Auditions host the very first outdoor auditions at our studio right here in Victoria Island on Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. This in-person audition is for secondary school students who missed the deadline of our online entry. If you've already entered the competition online, you don't have to come for the live audition. To register, visit www.nigeriainfo.fm to pick a topic for your live auditions. Click on the I Beg to Differ banner on the homepage. Carefully read the guidelines and choose a topic. Remember the date, Saturday, January 25th, time 8 a.m. Venue is Nigeria Info Studios, 267A Etim Ian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. The debate of your life begins here. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
It's 2025. The biggest conversations are happening on Hard Facts.
If Modo Pueblo was genuinely interested in local government funds, would have protested to be cancelled. Somebody is receiving 30,000 naira after serving the country for 5 years.
From the stories shaping Nigeria's future.
And he don't put my mood for that. Whenever people are clapping, he's praise singers when they ought to be telling him the truth.
I mean, he did not do any remarkable thing in your state, and you are celebrating corruption time.
To real-time feedback from you, the citizens.
There is propaganda. They can never make it work. I will not support that tax reform. If NBS is turning out very fake data to us, because this data lacks empirical evidence.
We dig deep with the decision makers, hold the powerful accountable, and keep the conversation alive on social media. Join Mary Ann Okon every Monday to Friday, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. for the most interesting news and current affairs show on radio.
I'm so sorry. I hate it when people make assertions from very skewed and biased places.
Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. In a time where people yearn for information.
Information is quick. The larger the reach, the better.
Bits.
Pieces.
And the whole. All the details right here on Nigeria Info.
Let's talk. Nigeria Info.
The hub for information,
current affairs, and more.
The president used his last Democracy Day address to talk about several issues, including security.
It is this same government that they started it. They don't obey conduct.
Join the conversation
right here.
Let's talk. Nigeria Info.
The hub for information,
current affairs, and more.
The president used his last Democracy Day address to talk about several issues, including security.
It is this same government that they started it. They don't obey conduct.
Join the conversation.
Welcome to the Central Bank of Information.
On the news this hour, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is urging investors in the United States to see Lagos State as the right place for their investment.
It's available to you 24/7.
Still on the news, Adamawa resident electoral commissioner is expected in Abuja.
It would be very correct to say that the latest pandemic in Nigeria is domestic violence.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Back with your number one station for talk.
And you'll be glad you did.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
It's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info. President Bola Tinubu approves appointment of board chairpersons and chief executive officers for 42 federal organizations and a secretary to the board of the Civil Defense, Immigration and Prison Services. National Association of Telecommunication Subscribers disassociates itself from any protest planned by the Nigeria Labour Congress. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Labour Congress is threatening to champion a nationwide boycott of the services. However, a communications law and policy consultant, Osundu Nwokoro, says the recent increase in tariffs approved by the NCC is necessary with the rise in cost of goods and services. Also, the Nigeria Labour Congress has kicked against the service-based tariff, which puts electricity users in different bands. Inspector General of Police Kayode Egbetukun says the graduation of police constables is another milestone commitment to strengthen the national security. Head of Research and Policy Advisory at Budget, Obong Hussein, has called for adoption of a performance-based budgeting system across government ministries and agencies. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry wants the federal government to guard against avoidable delays in implementation of the 2025 budget. Assistant Director of Medical Laboratory Services at the Lagos Transfusion Services, Davis Folorunsho Teslima, tells Nigeria Info that donating blood can help reduce the risk of developing cancer. The federal government has appealed to African women to refrain from bleaching their skin. 9% women have been rescued from a baby factory located in one of the sprawling estates in Yushafa area of the FCT. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has destroyed several fake and unregistered items worth 1.36 billion naira in the FCT. The World Trade Organization has waded into tariffs controversies in many countries across the world. U.S. President Donald Trump makes slight U-turn, says he would rather not impose tariffs on China after previously threatening sweeping action on the world's second biggest economy. A U.S. judge has temporarily blocked Donald Trump's order to change birthright citizenship, which is enshrined in the Constitution. Nigeria International Taiwo Awoniyi has debunked speculations of him leaving Nottingham Forest this month. And finally, Novak Djokovic has booed off court by some Australian Open fans after retiring injured from his semi-final against Alexandra Zverev. If you have any story you would like for us to cover, call us on 01-465-7175. That is 01-465-7175. I am Zainab Yakin, and Danfo Conversations continues. We see you again. Stay tuned.
We are in a time where people yearn for information.
Information is quick. The larger the reach, the better.
Bits,
pieces,
and the whole. All the details right here on Nigeria Info.
Let's talk.
Welcome back to Danfo Conversations. So there was a message that I was trying to read, and I'll start again because I think it's important that we hear it. It's from I Am Oludo, the friendly neighbor. I'll start again. He said, capitalist or not, I think he meant to say it's okay. I don't know. Is he okay? I don't know what that means. The telcos have not increased their rates in over a decade. On the contrary, they're giving more data and have actually reduced calls and SMS rates over the period. Where was everyone, especially our callers, when everything went up unilaterally, be it electricity, fuel, food, school fees, house rent, transportation, etc., all by over 100%? It's because they didn't unilaterally increase their own and have come out to the public for a discussion that we are taking them to the gallows. 10% increase, that's a joke. So we are expecting only the telcos to have a heart and be more compassionate. Let's be real, guys. They need the increment so they can maintain and upgrade their facilities. This is your friendly neighbor. I am _Oludo. By the way, I'm not a telco or working for one, just in case your listeners think so. If it was cheap and a low investment business, would all open up a telco company. Cost of running them is gigantic. The rates are still the cheapest in dollar terms here in our Nigeria. I am Olodo. Thank you so very much for that perspective. It's so important, and for me, I like it when we get, disparities. When everybody's not facing the same direction, especially on our Danfo conversation. What have I got here? Please, on telco issues, I suggest 10% increase for easier affordability. Danfo CCOG, let them increase by 50%. T-Pain increased fuel from 145 to 560 at his sweep. NLC kept quiet, but now fuel is 1150. They will need to power their base stations by diesel. Transport their staff and material. Welcome from Istanbul. NLC is just a toothless bulldog. Every business is designed to make profit. If FG provide enabling environment, most of the overhead costs will be off. That's from Ayo. Ayo, thank you very much. Good afternoon, Cecile. Welcome back from Istanbul, ma'am. First off, we say thank you for always going far and wide to make sure you get accurate information, interviews, so that you come correct always on your shows, even under the harshest conditions. Ma'am, you do your thing brazenly. God bless you tremendously. Well, God bless you too, and thank you for listening. Really, really appreciate it. It's much more encouraging. Whether 50%, so this is now on Danfo Conversations, whether 50% or 100%, it's really ridiculous and outrageous given the fact that the telcos are even ripping us off. Data, call time, and the likes. The increase, say 100% is feasible if they promise to rebrand and serve their customers better and not this wishy-washy unreasonable service they're offering the people. Quite understandable. The economy has witnessed a surge in inflation and other vices, but I suggest a minimal amount of increment and 100% delivery henceforth. Lots of love, ma'am. That's from Mrs. Oboli. Thank you. Remember me in your prayers. I'm a bit down. Oh, Mrs. Oboli, my love, sending you love and healing, and I hope you feel much better very, very soon. If it's about this T-Pain, just remember, it may not feel like it, but we've come through worse and we've survived. And that's why we're able to come to actually complain about this one. So this particular one, it too shall pass. Thank you. I'm trying to read all your messages. Wale from Suilere, 5% is okay. Good afternoon, Cecile Geke Radio Cover. Welcome from Asian city of Istanbul on the telco. For the business owner that we can't do without their services, 10% increase is okay. I know the multiplier effect of the cost of diesel is affecting every Nigerian, but 10% is okay. The government needs public, not private. Oh, you've sent that before. I think I've read it. I don't know why it was still dark. Right. Okay. Last one. I think I'll lead and then I'm coming to your calls. One should expect something not more than 5% increase in the telcos. But who's surprised about the alarms from the telcos and the 50% tariff hike? When it's clear that the stage has long been set to squeeze life out of the ordinary Nigerians with twisted policies here and there. Both government and NLC are a problem now to the ordinary Nigerians. Rather than the government put money to subsidize in areas that will help businesses grow, they waste money on aggrandizement, you want to say. Once the government don't get its priorities right, these stories shall continue unabated. It's taxing time and nothing more than tax. That's Steve Oferi in Ijaniki. Thank you, Steve. Let me come to your calls. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, Julie.
Good afternoon, sir.
Moses calling from Lekki.
Go ahead. You have a minute. Go ahead.
First, I'll say this. They have been ripping us off right from time. Yes, it's only Nigeria you subscribe for 1 month and you end up using it for one week. Sometimes not even up to 1 week. They have always been ripping us off. Ripping us off. So saying increase or no increase is just more ripping. You can't tell me, despite what they are maintaining is so extremely expensive, you can't tell me they are not getting that same amount every day. Most especially now that everybody are always in the internet. Whether they raise their money, they don't raise it, it doesn't stop them. They are not losing any day, any time.
But have you run a telco business before?
I don't need to run it.
But you actually do. It's like saying that our station, you know how it runs. You don't. You're not running it. You're not looking at the monies. You're not looking at the salary. Exactly.
I'm not.
Do you know what they call
these people
OPEX?
have been ripping us off right from